Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I've got a game from the ASUS Republic of Gamers Winter Assembly 2012. It is the round of 16 match between Stephano and TypeReaL. Now this game is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg game. It is being played out on Shakura's plateau, and in the bottom right position we do have Stephano playing as the pink Zerg player, and in the top left position we have Real playing as the orange Protoss. Now this is a tournament variation of Shakura's plateau, so there is the supply depot at the bottom of the ramp, basically meaning that you can't wall off the bottom of someone's ramp with pylons, because that can be quite effective. I mean, if a Protoss player comes down to a Zerg player, builds 3 pylons on a forward fast expand and cannons it up, really they can get very far ahead very quickly. I mean, on some maps, even if you do get walled in at the bottom of the ramp, if you pull a whole load of drones, there's a trick where you can right click on some minerals and all the drones stack up, and then you can do like 50 damage burst hits to the pylon as it's building to break free. But either way, we've got Stephano going for a pretty standard build, doing the good luck, have fun, so still being well managed in the tournament, which is always good to see. I mean, this is a professional game. Obviously both players want to advance. The ASUS Republic of Gamers tournament actually had quite a lot of money going within it. As always, it's a really high profile tournament. These replays were actually released on the 29th of February, so it's the 2nd of March as I'm recording them now. The reason I'm starting in the round of 16 is because I think really to try and catch up and get all of them would just take absolutely forever. So I'm going to go from the round of 16 right through to the final. Now I'll probably cast the round of 16 and the round of 8 today and get them uploaded over the night, and then the round of the final rather I'll cast on Saturday and get that uploaded overnight, so it's all up for Sunday. Now forward fast expand coming down for Real here, so fairly standard. Didn't actually manage to get the block off. Now Stephano did obviously go for pull first build, which you have to do versus Protoss, because otherwise it's way too risky. You can get cannoned in very simply and then just take a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Real going for a Nexus before cannons, so he knows he's pretty much safe. Getting another pylon down, the forge just finishing. He knows that Stephano isn't going to be trying to put on too much pressure, and actually just grabbing straight away down a gateway. And I believe there's a tiny little bit of space there, so you could get Zerglings through, but either way, no, actually I don't think there's any space there at all. No, there must be, yeah. There is a space for Zerglings to run by there. So just dropping the cannon down as well now to prevent any early harassment, but only 2 Zerglings are out. Stephano not gone for any speed yet either, so not even any gas, so speed won't be out for quite a significant amount of time yet. Obviously Stephano's hatchery is going to be finished pretty soon. These Zerglings just chasing around this probe to see what's happening, and Stephano already getting in position to take his third before he should be able to take that third now. So there you go, before 4 minutes 20 that third coming out, very early third base. Great response to a Protoss taking a forward fast expand. You've got to be 1 base up if you're going to stay in the game, or you've got to do a lot of damage in some sort of all-in. But if we take a look here, Stephano's second queen just about to finish up now. Will be interesting to see if he grabs the third one straight away. And this Zergling just finally taking out the probe up here. Now, that was a bit of a heroic probe, but Stephano doing the right thing, just making sure that probe doesn't actually get to plant down a proxy pylon up here for either warpins or for cannoning. So, really good play by Stephano there. If we take a look over at Real's base, we have just got the cybernetics score going down now. Just chrono boosting out probe after probe, just setting up a really good economy. He's got 2 gases up already, and it'll be interesting to see if he starts chrono boosting out of this cybernetics core, or if he does actually try and just go for some kind of Stargate play or something. But so far just chrono boosting out the Stalker, so it looks like he's going to send the Stalker, let's see where he's going, just up into this position here. So going to go straight in, may even try and hide it or pick off some Overlords or something. But again, a Stargate is actually going down now, so we are going to see a Stargate play by Real, and I expected that just because of the 2 gases really early on. But creep spread is pretty much doing well by Stephano here. He has got 2 queens, 3 queens out, so it's a queen at every base. No evolution chamber yet though. Just grabbing 2 gases here. Just going to stick on 2 gases for the moment. Obviously the 3rd and 4th gas for Real on the way now as well. Warp gate tech about 1/3 of the way done. The Stargate 3/4 of the way done. And I mean, Stephano has only got this one queen at each base, so unless he gets an evolution chamber up relatively quickly or starts building some more queens, he could start having a little bit of issue. But he's only got this one overlord here, which is quite a long way away to scout, and the only kind of plus side is there isn't actually a stalker in the base for real, and he's sending his stalker over, which is going to be forced back by these zerglings here. So that stalker is not going to be able to harass, but also won't go down because obviously zergling speed isn't started yet. The lair is on its way down now for Stephano, getting a roach warren as well, so not going for his trademark Ling only build. And there goes the evolution chamber. Now this is a really common timing. You get the roach warren and then pretty much follow it up with the evolution chamber. It means you're safe from air as long as you get relatively well timed. But if we take a look here, we have got Voidway coming out now. There is only this one queen at the third base, no second queen being built or anything like that. But the evolution chamber is nearly finishing up, but I don't actually think Stephano knows about this at the time, being in a fleet beacon now going down for real. So he could be going for a carrier rush. No, not seriously, he probably isn't going for a carrier rush. He's probably just going to get a mothership really, really early. And I mean, obviously, it'll be interesting to see what he does. It's very, very rare to see Protoss players go for a fleet beacon this early in a game, especially before the 10-minute mark. And straight away, there is a spore crawler down already for Stephano at this third base. So this is actually going to do no damage at all. May be able to snipe down that overlord, so that's more irritating than actually damaging to Stephano. Just means he's got to build another one, but he's in a great economic position. I mean, when you're mining off 3 bases, a single overlord makes hardly any difference at all. And Stephano is just powering out units. If you look here, he's just got so much stuff. He's going completely boss mode. And just going to take out that stalker if he can get within range. I mean, the front now, there are 4 sentries just warping in, so he should be able to get some good force fields off, having to build 2 cannons straight away, and an immortal pops just at the right time to force Stephano back. Those roaches would just melt to that immortal, and I mean, absolutely great timing by Real there. This is a top-notch game. Both players really playing their absolute best. Now this Voidway should be able to pick off 1 roach, may actually manage to get 2 because there's no anti-air on the field at the moment. And I apologise for someone just messaging me there. Obviously forgot to set myself too busy. But if we take a look here, we have got a macro hatch going down in the main base. Roach speed finishing up, +1. Ranged attack for the roaches also coming up. And if we take a look up here, there are 2 phoenixes out. So could harass the queen quite nicely. The queen's just hugging the spore crawler, which is exactly what they need to be doing. And exactly what they're doing at the natural base. And the main base doesn't actually... Oh, there is a spore crawler for the main base. It's just all the overlords are being protected by now. Stephano already 50 food supply ahead. Well, very nearly anyway. And really not very much in the way of defense. And Stephano is looking like he's going to just go for it. He's going to check for this third base first. But there's just so many units there, getting a lot more roaches as well. Now, there are 3 immortals out. Now, those immortals are going to be critical. And while he's got this defense position, he could do quite well because there's 3 cannons there. There's the immortals... good number of force fields saved up in order to be used, but those phoenixes are just getting harassed, and a mothership is going to be popping out pretty soon, so that fleet beacon purely used just to get that mothership out. And I mean, once that mothership pops, then obviously Stephano will need detection to be able to do anything in order to basically attack the front without taking huge losses. And with so many phoenix out and a voidway as well, that he could just target fire down an overseer. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And now that queen is most probably going to die pretty soon. A 4th phoenix in there as well now. So Real just doing absolutely amazing play here. Meanwhile, Stephano just poking around. Those lings are going to get killed one at a time by the voidway, but it won't take significant losses. And a hydralisk then actually just finishing up now, as well as a spire starting for Stephano. So Stephano's just keeping all of his options open and what he can do. Meanwhile, still on 3 bases, got all 6 gases, and Real just being forced to stay on these 2 bases because he can't risk expanding out when there's so many units for Stephano. And just sending out a few Zerglings just to scout just exactly what units are coming in. And the mothership is out, I believe, but exactly where the mothership is eluding me. I mean, it must be around here somewhere. It can't have moved that fast. They're pretty slow things. The voidway is... Okay, so... apparently the mothership has just completely disappeared, or I'm just being blind. But giving a quick look around, nope. can't actually see much. Ah, here comes the mothership. It was just on the very, very edge of the map. So it actually looks like Real's going to go for a mass recall into Stephano's main base as it stands. A lot of Phoenix to pick off any sort of overseer or any form of detection. But I mean, Stephano's maxed out now. And I mean, he hasn't actually got anything in position to scout. But I mean, he could just go for it. But there's just so much stuff there. And to be honest, if it goes to a base race, then if Real does just mass recall all of his units up there, then when it goes to a base race, there's absolutely nothing he could do because Stephano would clearly win once he's pushed in the front with just so many units. And +1 air attack is on its way, +2 ranged attack is about to finish. And now the Phoenix have been spotted. They are lifting up those Hydralisks amazingly well. Now I think Stephano's getting a bit nervous about what could be happening here. Knows it's still just a 2-base Protoss at the 14-minute mark. Knows it's some kind of all-in. Knows that there's a lot of Phoenix there. So probably expecting it. And straight away that mass recall is going to go off. And there are all the units. That Spore Crawler will go down exceptionally quickly. And the mothership actually moving. So no longer cloaking his army. So that's a strange bit of positioning. A great Warp Prism move as well. Allowing continued warped in. Obviously the Spore Crawler does need to go down. Otherwise Stephano does have detection, but I mean there's just so much stuff for Stephano that he is just able to completely kill everything. And I mean just remaxing straight away, just getting so many units. The mothership has gone down, and I mean this is pretty much it for Real. Stephano has defended this amazingly, not even with a particular build or particular unit, just so much stuff. This really was an example of if you just have more stuff, you win. Even at the absolute top tier of play that Stephano is. And Corruptors are coming out as well now. And Real is trying to switch over straight away to Colossi. But, I mean, his Robotics Bay is down. He's getting that extended thermal lance upgrade. But, I mean, he's just so far behind. He's 66 food behind. 2 bases behind now. That 4th base just set up. He is trying to take his 3rd. But, I mean, Stephano just has so much stuff. He's just going to run in, and I mean there's only a couple of sentries there, so if Stephano does get a good position, he can do an awful lot of damage. Now the Zerglings are going to pick off 2 of the sentries, so just 1 sentry remaining. There is no way that base is going to go down at the time it stands. The Colossi could do some damage if they do some very good skirting up and down the high ground. There is no air units here for Stephano, so he won't be able to get vision of the high ground. Another force field goes down, but straight away an Immortal falls as well, and the Immortal is going to be essential to deal with all of these roaches. So Stephano in a really good position here. 70 food ahead already, and actually just taking another base. So he's 2 bases. He's double expanding behind this, so Stephano will be on 6 bases to deal with this, and obviously has got his macro hatch in there. Getting a 3rd hatchery as well, so getting 2 macro hatches. Stephano is just completely loaded up with money. He's just got so much to do. There is a Warp Prism here, which was involved with the drop, I believe. I just missed that while I was just looking at all the bases Stephano's got. I mean, Stephano is in such a strong position here. He's got a couple of Corruptors coming out. Now, Corruptors do very well against Phoenix. Stephano just playing defensively. I mean, this is still a 2-base Protoss, really 1 base. He's mined out his main all but 1 patch. So it's a 1-base Protoss versus a 6-base Zerg player. So I think we all know how this is going to end, but it'll be interesting to see if Real can pull something off. That mothership rush wasn't too effective. It'll be interesting to see if he can do anything. Good force fields there, so we'll pick off a couple of roaches, and really this is the only chance Real has, is just splitting up that army and doing little bits of damage wherever and whenever he can. And there is actually going to be a Zealot drop going off in this 4th base of Stephano, so Stephano will have to pull back all of his units, but straight away that Warp Prism is going to get killed very, very quickly by those Corruptors, warping in some more Zealots. They didn't all manage to finish, and there's just so many roaches here that there's no way that drop's going to do much. I mean, did manage to snipe down the hatchery, but it doesn't actually matter because Stephano's got 2 backups. So still here, the Colossus count is getting a bit higher, but still upgrades. It's 1-1 compared to, I believe it's nearly 2-2, 2-1, and +1 air attack. So much protection. No mothership is out though, so it was just the 1 mothership, and the Colossus are just going to absolutely melt to all of those Corruptors. And it's a good choke point, not really where Stephano wants to be engaging, but now he's just got such a great arc. There's no way Real is going to be able to defend this. He's pulled all of his probes just to try and do it, and there's the GG. So an absolutely incredible game played by Stephano, proving that if you just have more stuff, you usually win. So right, that was game 1. I'm going to go and cast game 2 now.